Hey guys, Buffy Game back today bringing our video, and today we're covering Delta Force. We have a nice hidden weapon conversion here in Delta Force I'm going to be using in the extraction mode gameplay. Wanted to give you guys some nice gameplay I got here, mainly off of all the live streams, but as you can see, we have a really nice Mark 46 conversion here. So let's go ahead, and I want to go ahead and start off. We'll build this, and then I'll jump into some gameplay from the live stream the other day. So let's go ahead and just go back to the actual SAW, or the M249 SAW machine gun. So you see here, $60,000 or whatever the in-game currency is in value, 858 rounds per minute. Let's go ahead and preview that. Now, again, the base SAW, you have the right hand guard, all that. To make the Mark 46, it's kind of an enhanced version of the SPW, which is a special purpose weapon. So what we're going to do for the hand guard, you have different barrel lengths. You can run a short barrel or a long barrel, or just the regular barrel, which is what we're going to run. So you also have handguard options. You have the Parasaw barrel. You have the barrel we're going to use today and another barrel. So we're going to use the mill standard rail. This is going to give us the Mark 46 handguard and the Mark 46 and Mark 48 handguard. So we'll go ahead and select that. Next up, for the build I'm using in the gameplay for the stream here, I'm running the M157 firearm. This is the NGSW weapon scope. So we'll go ahead and select that. It has a target designator integral into it. You have auto horizontal prediction, auto trajectory drop, high optical zoom. You have 3 zooms to select from, handling, and moderate glint with ADS. So we'll preview that. Now, you can also go ahead and throw on this, the honeycomb, which will kill that glint, but the handling stability will go down. So that's your choice. We'll put that on for this gameplay. And then for the grip, again, it's really dependent on pricing. If you want to be accurate to a Mark 46, what they would run, you could definitely run a bipod foregrip or the VFG Night foregrip, which is what we're going to run here in the gameplay. Going to select that. And then for the gameplay, I'm just going to run a suppressor. For this gameplay, I ran the cheaper suppressor, which is a practical one. So you can see how it's going to affect your stats. Going to go increase your control and stability a little bit. We'll go ahead and select that one. Select, and then if you wanted, you could put a laser on one of the rails there if you really wanted to. Also, so we'll just run that for the gunsmith. I'm not running that in the gameplay. Other than that, that is the weapon. That's the Mark 46 light machine gun. It is a updated iteration of the M249 SAW, or the FM Mini-Me. Now, some major differences here. Every game always gets this wrong, all the way back to Modern Warfare 3, is they have the magwell there, you can see, right underneath the belt. So the magwell is still present on the Mark 46. The Mark 46 in the SPW version of the SAW got rid of that to save weight. So that wouldn't be present on the Mark 46. But all the way back to the original Modern Warfare 3, this has been wrong on video games, which I get because most games put a magwell option, including this. As you can see, you can put a magazine in here. So it makes sense that it's there. By selecting one handguard, it wouldn't make sense gameplay-wise to get rid of an ammo attachment with a magwell. So that's just one of the major differences. I believe also it does not have a carrying handle, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong, but I don't remember it having a carrying handle. It does have the same plastic buttstock as a SAW. And not different from the SPW with the retractable buttstock that you also see on the Parasaw. So those are the major differences here. This is our Mark 46 light machine gun. One of my favorite weapons too. I remember I did a lot of commercials for this back in Modern Warfare 2019 in Original Warzone. So let's go ahead and jump into the firing range with this, and then I'll leave you guys with the gameplay as we walk through. So here is the weapon itself. Go ahead and do the inspect. Let's get rid of the stats there for the weapon. Look at the inspect. Unfortunately, there's no way to hide the HUD right now, which is fine, but would be nice to have the inspect without the HUD. Now the optic has 3 different zoom levels. You obviously have your laser on this build. You have the base 1.5, 3, 7, and because we have a laser, we have the 1.25 canted aim, and then back to 1.5. So let's look at the sight with this, or the rate of fire. And then I can mark, because I have a target designator, I can mark this. Go like that. 53 meters. And it will predict some of the aiming based on that. You can see at this range, at that range with the attachments, the recoil is ridiculous with that zoom at least. But if we were to zoom out, a lot better, obviously. So typically I run it at this lower zoom unless I'm tap firing at longer ranges. Do the reload animation here. But again, you do have this long zoom option here, so I can go ahead and mark that. It's gonna be 153 meters. So at this range, I would tap fire it. Unless I'm running a bipod, it would be a little bit easier. And we're running lowest tier ammo here too. So this thing definitely messes up players pretty quickly. Let me give you guys an example here with some top tier armor attachments. We're on 200 health, top tier helmet, top tier vest. And let's go ahead and look at that. We'll do a quick reload and see how this handles against the armor. So let's go ahead and look at this. Pull our stats up. This is the worst ammo, by the way. So that was around 30 bullets, but with the rate of fire of almost 900 rounds per minute, it's pretty quick TTK. So again, that was 30 bullets as well. Or you can run leg meta and kill them super quick, which is definitely an issue with this game. But let me know your thoughts down below our Mark 46. Let's go ahead and do a little inspect there. Just a beautiful, beautiful gun. Jump into the gameplay here. You'll see this weapon. I'm just running it during the live stream the other day. This is the first day of me playing Delta Force. Yesterday, Thursday the 5th is when I did this live stream. So just running this in games with randoms. And again, the NGSW scope just super, super convenient. I really want to try and run this with a bipod, but essentially this is the M249 SAW light machine gun. This has been put in service in 1984 through present. It's the main LMG with the U.S. military until the M250, which is also in this game, which is supposed to replace it, but I highly, highly doubt it will ever fully replace it. I think it's going to be more of a special purpose, special unit replacement. But formerly known as, it's a 5.56 light machine gun, the M249 SAW for the U.S. military, developed by FN Herstal, manufactured in the United States by an FN subsidiary in company in Colombia and South Carolina. If you go ahead and look at the users, it's been used in the invasion of Panama, Gulf War, Unified Task Forces, Bosnian War, Kosovo, War in Afghanistan, Iraq War, Syria and Russo-Ukrainian War, Yemen Civil War. It's been in use forever. In 2022, the U.S. Army selected the M250 to replace the SAW, but again, the M250 is a 6.8 by 51 millimeter. I don't think the SAW will ever be replaced, the same as the M27 IAR was also supposed to replace the SAW. I just don't think it's ever going to happen. The SAW is a very, very special weapon, and I think it's going to be in service forever in some variation. The M250 is a larger caliber, heavier. The M249 SAW does what it does perfectly. I don't think you're ever going to see a timeline where the SAW is not in use. So with this weapon, jumping in quickly, the Mark 46 itself, again, there's some minor variations. The SPW, first off, for the M249 SAW is a special purpose weapon. It's a modified version of the SAW designed to meet U.S. or United States Special Operation Command requirements. So that would be barrel handling, magazine well. The barrel handling, magazine well, and mounting lug for the weapon were removed to reduce the weight. And we see basically the same thing with the Mark 46 and Mark 48. It's essentially basically the same thing as the Mark or the SPW. However, with this weapon, you have a unique handguard, which is a quad rail Picatinny rail. You keep the same standard SAW buttstock that we saw with the original M249 versus the telescopic buttstock with the SPW version. And the Mark 46 often uses a lighter SPW barrel, or it can also use a thicker fluted barrel at the same length. So the Mark 46 is chambered in 5.6 by 45 millimeter, or yeah, NATO, and then the Mark 48 is chambered in 72 by 51 millimeter. The same weapon, just different calibers. The Mark 48 was supposed to kind of replace something like the Mark 43 Mod 0 or the M60 machine gun. And the Mark 46 is, again, a lighter variation of the SAW, kind of a more modernized version. So as you see here in the gameplay, the rate of fire is ridiculous. TTK in the game definitely has a little problem, but I'm dropping players super, super quick. It's a really good gun. Didn't cost me too much. It was around 150,000 to 200,000, depending on where the market is in here in Delta Force. But again, a great weapon, and I think if you have a bipod or a bipod foregrip, you'll be able to mount and use that zoom a little bit more effectively. So let me know your thoughts down below. This is Buffner Gaming with Delta Force Mark 46 hidden weapon conversion. Let me know what you guys want me to call this. I don't want to be running the weapon conversion series the same as we were with Modern Warfare 2019, but it is still a weapon conversion, hidden weapon. Let me know what you guys think down below in the description. Until next time, this is Buffner Gaming with the Mark 46 in Delta Force. Buffner Gaming out.